It was 1984, and the sleepy town of Waukesha, Wisconsin, was rattled by a tragedy. A prominent local family, the Martins, had been devastated by a terrible car accident. David Martin, a well-respected businessman, was killed instantly when his car veered off a highway late one night and plunged into a ravine. His wife, Janet, and their two young daughters survived but were left deeply shaken. The town mourned, but no one questioned the circumstances. David had been known to work long hours and drive late into the night. An accident like this, while tragic, wasn't entirely unexpected. For months, the Martin family grieved. Janet retreated from public life, struggling to raise their daughters without their father. The house grew quiet, except for the occasional visit from relatives or neighbors bringing food or offering condolences. Life moved on, but a shadow hung over the once happy family. Then, 1 year after David's death, a letter arrived at the Martin household. It was typed, with no return address, and simply read, "David's death was no accident." No name, no explanation, just those 6 chilling words. Janet, already fragile from the loss of her husband, dismissed it as a cruel prank. But a week later, another letter came, this time with more details. The letter claimed David had been killed, not by an accident, but by someone close to him. The letter mentioned things only someone close to the family would know, like the private nickname Janet used for David and the location of the family's secret vacation spot, where they had spent their last summer together. Shaken, Janet brought the letters to the police. At first, they didn't take it seriously. There was no evidence of foul play in the accident. David had simply lost control of his car. It happens. But when a third letter arrived, detailing the exact circumstances of David's supposed murder and hinting at evidence that had been missed, the case was reopened. Investigators went back to the scene of the crash, combing through old records and files. It didn't take long for them to find something they had missed. The brake lines on David's car had been cut. Suddenly, the town that had been so sure of an innocent tragedy was plunged into a murder investigation. Who had done this? And why? The Martins were well-liked, with no known enemies. But the more investigators dug into David's life, the more they realized they didn't know him at all. David had been living a double life. He had been involved in a web of illegal financial dealings, laundering money for a powerful criminal organization. On the surface, David appeared to be a pillar of the community, but beneath that facade, he was neck-deep in a world of corruption and betrayal. And someone in that world had decided David had become a liability. As the investigation deepened, Janet's world was turned upside down. She had known nothing of David's secret dealings, nothing of the danger he had put their family in. The realization that her husband had lied to her, that his death had been the result of his own dark choices, left her reeling. But the biggest twist was yet to come. A few months into the investigation, the anonymous letters suddenly stopped. The police were closing in on the criminal organization David had been involved with, but they were no closer to identifying his killer. That is, until one final letter arrived at the police station. This one wasn't anonymous. It was signed by Janet. In it, she confessed to having cut the brake lines herself. The town was shocked. How could a grieving widow, who had appeared to be a victim in all of this, be responsible for her husband's death? But Janet's confession was chilling in its simplicity. She had found out about David's secret life months before the accident. When she discovered the extent of his betrayal, the lies, and the danger he had put them in, she made a decision. David had to be stopped. In her letter, Janet wrote that she had initially planned to confront him, but fear took over. Fear for her daughters, for herself. So, she had waited until the perfect moment, tampered with the car, and let the accident take its course. The most unsettling part? Janet claimed she had no regrets. She had done what she believed was necessary to protect her family. The police arrested her, but her confession left the town in disbelief. For a year, Janet had played the role of the grieving widow while hiding the darkest of secrets. She was the one who had killed her husband. And to this day, no one knows who sent those anonymous letters that led the police to reopen the case. Was the guilt Janet felt for killing her husband finally catching up to her? Or was somebody else involved? Make sure to like and subscribe for more crazy plot twists in real life.